Good evening once again. M.M Out here, over there, everywhere, all over the place. Part 2 of our section this week. It's the Apostle Leroy's Canterbury, and we're talking about religion based on queries and comments from you, the viewers, who are very valuable to the show. Moving right on again.
Yes, sir.
Some of my viewers have said, and you are an apostle, you are a pastor, that you pastors are into this for money. So I'm going into preaching to collect money from the audience or from the congregation or whatever. I want your view on that.
Okay. Well,
that is a query.
That in many cases is speculation. Okay, and every organization that is registered here in Barbados, and a lot of individuals don't understand the law of the land as it regards even charities. Okay, and this is what is important. In the Charity Act in Barbados, Section 243, it is mentioned and clearly stated that every church must provide a place of lodging for the pastor and his family, and also to provide the pastor with a monthly stipend. Okay? So when people say that pastors are in this for money, even the law of the land in Barbados, in our Charities Act, make sure that the pastors are well taken care of. Okay? Now this came out because you understand, in every Anglican church, they're saying this, every funeral that an Anglican minister does is paid between $500 and $600.
Is that the law?
Okay? Not necessarily the law, is just a charge. Weddings are paid for. Many events that are done. Okay, so people have the idea. Now, of course, there are individuals who are going to ride the train piggyback. They're going to do things because for every positive, there's a counterfeit. But it doesn't mean that every individual who is in ministry, who is a minister or pastor of a church, leading a congregation, is taking money from its members. I personally and my wife, we do not take a salary from our church. Okay, we put more into our ministry than all of our members put together. I don't receive a salary from my ministry because, you know, even though because of the nature of my ministry, and I help people to prosper, I love to see people being prosperous and successful.
But that's always your tune. I've been here 1 or 2 times and I watch you, and you always you say, be,
you know,
prosper.
Yeah, I you know, my wife and I, we've paid to send people back to school, back to UE. We've paid for people to learn to drive. And these are things that people would not know, because in Barbados what people do is that they listen to the negative. All they want to hear is one thing negative about you, and they think that's you. Okay? But, you know, we pay for weekly for families to send their kids to school. My wife and I do that, our ministry do that. We buy groceries for people, we help people with their bills, and that's what our ministry is about. So when you think that every person that is out there is robbing the flock or fleecing the flock, that's not true. Okay? And it's one thing to be on the outside looking in, it's another thing to be on the inside looking out. And Barbadians don't ever investigate long enough. As long, you know, I've heard a guy said, I heard that, you know, you just take all the money from the people. Now, how can you take money from people who don't have money? So I don't understand how people are of this idea that every preacher, every leader is just taking money from people and living their lives off their people. So I can't really agree with that comment because it's not true.
Now that was well put and well said by the apostle. And I very much hope that Mr. Henry Rock, that answers your query. That was specially for you. So I know you have the intelligence. So I hope you heard the explanation by the Apostle Leroy Canterbury, and you will stop repeating what you're saying.
Okay, well, let me add to that. Recently, the government has sent out a list of names of churches in Barbados that have not complied with the corporate and intellectual properties, meaning that each year you're supposed to give them an audited statement of your accounts. Okay, well, our ministry was not on that list because we comply with the government.
Yes.
So they can tell from our books, if they come to our ministry and look at our books, they can see plainly that my wife and I, we don't take any money from the church. Okay, so 100% of what we do goes towards the ministry that God has given to us. And because people see you dress a certain way, they see you live a certain way, they obviously think that it's the result of the church's money. I don't sign on anything in our ministry. Okay, my spiritual father told me in the very stages, take your hands off the money. Get people to handle it, stay away from it. Your job is to minister the word. And that's basically what I do.
Again, Mr. Rock, I hope you're satisfied. You and anyone else. That's why I'm out here, over there, everywhere, all over the place, is here to explain these things. Moving ahead. Do you think that the churches are doing enough to help the poor, the destitute, and so on? For instance, I always give full praise to the Salvation Army, which is a church. And my late grandmother, who I talk about every day, because I miss her, she would always say if she had ever won any money, like playing the lotto or whatever, that the first thing she would do is give some to the Salvation Army. And I would go to her to spikes down, even from a little guy to Elmer's at first, and then to Jordan and so on, and the Salvation Army guys out there. And she would always she can't afford, always give something to Salvation Army at all times. So I know they give. But do you think that the churches in Barbados are doing enough to help the poor and the destitute?
No, that's a statement because I grew up in the church and a lot of poor people, I grew up poor. There were 6 of us, and there's a lot of preaching and there's a lot of consciousness of getting to heaven. That you'll get all these things when you get to heaven, which is not what the Bible actually teaches, by the way. But it's kept a lot of folk in poverty. Now, one of the things that I do with our ministry is that I believe that if you upgrade your consciousness, your life will change. So it's not just a matter of...
You will prosper.
Yeah, if you give a man a fish, which is what I don't do. What I do is to teach a person to fish. Okay? And because a lot of individuals don't understand why Jesus came, and John 10:10 tells us that he came that you might have life and have it more abundantly. So an abundant life doesn't deal with, an abundant life does not keep people in poverty. Okay? An abundant life sees a person in poverty and brings people out of poverty. All right? And this is what I seek to do when people come to my ministry and I see where they are. It is a matter of re-educating that person to understand that you're not supposed to just be here in the earth and nothing happens. So many times when individuals go to churches, they're hearing about heaven and hell, but they're not hearing about how to dominate while they're here in this realm and to go on and to be successful and
to
productive,
prosper,
and to become contributing citizens, and this is what a lot of churches aren't doing enough of it to help even those who are in their members come into a greater understanding of life and living.
Now that is well put and well said by the apostle. I mentioned a name at the start, Dennis Connell.
Mm-hmm.
And come back at you again, Dennis. Now you wanted to know how can someone be an apostle? The only apostles in the Bible, those guys, right? They can't, no one around today can be an apostle. He is an apostle. He's the apostle Leroy Scansbury. I want you, apostle, to explain for Mr. Connell's benefit what an apostle is, and how you became an apostle.
All right, two main things I want to say here about an apostle. An apostle, according to the Bible, and this is 1 Corinthians 4:1, an apostle is a secret bearer, a person that God has given certain secrets to that individual about life, about spirituality, about the spirit realm. And then the word apostle comes from the Greek word apostolos. Apos meaning out of, stulo meaning to send. So an apostle is a specially sent person with a specific message. Now, the other element of this is that an apostle must be someone who had a divine encounter with God. Okay? Now, I had a divine encounter with God when I was 18. That took me into ministry. I started preaching when I was 18 years old. So I didn't just wake up and come into this. And this is a divine encounter that I shared with my members, so they know that I didn't come into Christianity because I woke up one day and decided, it was enough, I'm going to go to church. No, it was a divine encounter. So a lot of individuals don't understand the difference between pastors and reverends and evangelists. An apostle is a specially sent person with a special message. Okay? So for individuals, obviously for individuals who don't read their Bible, they will not understand. Okay? So many times, even if I explain it to the person, if they don't have a certain level of understanding, they will not be able to receive it.
Well, on M.M Out Here, we try to break it down, we try to simplify it, so you can actually understand, that a baby can understand. So Dennis Conner, I know you understood that.
Of all people that should understand, that should be Dennis Conner.
Okay, now, this one. So, in other words, what you're saying, Apostle, I know you are, I'm speaking for these guys. An apostle cannot only be those guys in the Bible.
No, of course not.
Can be more than they.
Yeah.
Because
more than they.
An apostle is someone who had a special encounter with God.
That's still happening. That's still happening. And not only here in Barbados, but in other countries around the world, it's still happening. Beyond that, we understand that because I have a special message, which means that that's the main thing God has set me to talk to people about. So I'm a special messenger. I'm not a regular pastor. I'm not a regular evangelist person. I have something that I've been divinely given to give to people.
A gift.
A gift.
From God.
Right. So this is something that a lot of individuals must understand, which means that every church isn't the same.
Okay. So I hope the viewers know and realize that the apostle is a special person. He's not a run-of-the-mill pastor. He has had a special encounter with God, and he has the ability to do things like heal people and that sort of thing.
Well, certain people are born for certain reasons, just like Joseph was born to take care of the famine that Egypt was going to have later on. So he was born at a specific time to carry out a certain task. And this is something that has been going on ever since. It hasn't stopped. God raises people up to do certain things when he's ready.
Now you mentioned earlier,
yes, sir.
I think it was in part 1, about these different religions, paganism and so on. And they have these tattoos. Now I've lived overseas for a very, very long time. And where I live, there are lots of tourists down there, and I see them walking bareback, and they have full of these tattoos. These pagan tattoos.
Yep.
People here don't know, right? They don't know these things, right? They have it all over their back, their feet,
yep.
of a goat.
And sometimes people have these things because of, they think it's cool. But many times there's certain tattoos that actually connect you with certain demonic spirits.
Those are the ones I'm talking about. Because I know the signs.
And a lot of people don't understand these things when they're happening. And they just go and get involved with it. They get a tattoo and they think it looks really good. And all of a sudden their lives changes.
Because they draw the
energy. They don't understand that you're actually creating, everything is energy. And it draws to you. You can either attract the wrong thing or you can repel the wrong thing. It takes energy to repel forces. It takes energy to attract forces. So whether good or evil. And so a lot of individuals have ended up with their lives in a lot of trouble because of this. So, this is part of what we're seeing.
Apostle,
yes, sir.
The time is creeping on us very, very quickly. Thomas Jefferson, when the government fears the people, there is liberty or freedom. When the people fear the government, there is tyranny. So, time runs very quickly with the apostle. I hope you all had a good time this week. You were informative. Hope you got the information that you wanted. M.M Out Here, over there, everywhere, all over the place. Gone.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Appreciate it.